Uh, we're going to look at the very interesting chart of Robert Mueller, and he was born August 4th, 1944, and we estimated the time of birth at 4:25 p.m. New York, New York. If you were to look at the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Scorpio rising at 22 degrees. 22 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet within 4 degrees, 5 degrees, will have some impact one way or another. Now we're going to look at how the planets are operating in the chart and when they're operating and what could be done to strengthen the chart using transformational Vedic astrology, which you can get a reading at vastucreations.com or learn how actually to do practice that astrology and be certified at American Institute of Vastu.com. So if we go to look at how the planets are operating, Scorpio, we know, is first of all a fixed sign. That means that these Scorpios are very practical and conservative, but they can also be inflexible, possessive, obsessive. They Scorpio is also a water sign, and they have deep feelings, very strong intuition, very sympathetic people, but can also be have emotional imbalances as well. So let's first look at Sun, how its strength, and it is very strong in his chart. It is close to the most effective point. It's 19 degrees. Most effective point is 22, so it's within 3 degrees. It's very strong, and it is ruling the house of career, and it's placed in the house of good fortune and legal matters. So it gives him a career through legal leadership, the justice system, and it aspects the moon favorably. So moon is also very strong and close to the most effective point. Strong and well placed, gives um, it's ruling the house of justice, legal issues, and it is placed in the house of communication and entrepreneurial success. So it gives him great success through legal abilities and working with the public in the public domain. And again, because it is aspects moon aspects sun, sun aspects moon, they're blessing each other, giving good strength. Mars is now we want to see what the functional malefic planets are in the Scorpio chart. So we know that any sign that is in the 6th, 8th, or 12th house, it's the ruler of that sign becomes functional malefic. So we see in the 6th house we have the first sign of Aries ruled by Mars. Mars becomes functional malefic for this chart. And then we look at the 12th house. It's ruled. It has the sign of Libra ruled by Venus. So Venus becomes functional malefic, as well as Rahu and Ketu for every chart. So Mars becomes functional malefic, and it again is very close to the most effective point. And it gives an interest in it's ruling this sixth house of conflicts and health issues and debts and delays and things like that. So it gives him a strong interest. It's placed in the house of career. So it gives him interest in his career for military. Military, he was, I think he was the head of his Marine unit. So he He was a Marine, served many years in the military, served many years for the government. He has an interest in military and conflicts. And he also has that interest in, um, police detection. All of that is part of Mars. Mercury is also very strong, and at 15 degrees, any planet less than 5 becomes infant state. Any planet that is more than 25 becomes um, old age. So only Venus in his chart, and it's already functional malefic, is in old age. Rahu and Ketu just slightly, but they're also functional malefic. So um, Mercury is ruling this house of income and friends, and it is placed in the career house. So, his career involve his he gets income through his career and through friendships and partnerships and communication. So Mercury is all about communications. So and Mercury gives him good intellect, ability to analyze facts and come up with solutions. He's like a sleuth. He's very good at analyzing things and coming up with um, solutions. So Jupiter is at 21 degrees, also close to the most effective, right? Very strong and well placed. And it is ruling the house of wealth and fame and reputation. And it is placed again in this career house. So he has 3 strong planets in the career house. Very, very strong, long career. So he he gets fame and good reputation through his career, and Jupiter is also having to do with law and the justice system. So Venus is again a little bit in old age and also functional malefic. Gives him interest in, it's ruling this house of 12th house, which has to do with prisons and illegal activities. So he has an interest in solving crime, basically. Um, uh, Saturn is at 12 degrees, and it is placed in this house of obstacles and also research vulnerability. So it gives and it's ruling this house of family life, happiness, peace of mind, things like that. So he gets happiness through research into solving crimes. Um, Rahu and Ketu are at 4 degrees, just slightly weak, but they're functional malefic and can cause obstacles and delays and things like that. Now, however, in his chart, I don't see Rahu and Ketu causing any issues. They're not afflicting, they're not close to the most effective point. And if you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're really not afflicting anything. Rahu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No planets. They're not afflicting any planets. So not causing. They're benign in this chart, not causing any issues. And one thing I did forget to mention, that because Mars is close to the most effective point, it is afflicting the first house of longevity and life purpose, the 4th house of family and peace of mind, and the 7th house of relationships, partnerships. So it can bring conflict into relationships. Rahu and Ketu are in the, Rahu's in this 9th house of good fortune and justice system and legal issues, and Ketu's in this house of entrepreneurial success. So, and communication. So, Ketu gives great insight into communication, ability to communicate. He's a great litigator, great debater, and Rahu gives desire for justice. So revealing the truth, insights and desire to reveal the truth about matters. Now, if we look at the timing events, he became the FBI chief about a week before the 9/11 attacks. He was in a Saturn Rahu period, again, desire for justice, and Saturn, research into finding out and revealing the truth about the 9/11 attacks and protecting the country. Um, and then his sun was also very strong and well placed in the transiting sun was transiting that career house, so showed that he was giving good boost to his career in that appointment of the FBI chief. Then he became appointed special counsel May 2017 in a Mercury Jupiter period. Jupiter, law, legal, revealing the truth, and Mercury, that great intellect and income, and so really good period for him to get that job, but it does involve some conflict and controversy, obviously, and because Mars is in that house of conflict and controversy, on 5 May 8th, 2018, he was questioned about his motives in this special counsel case, um, for his motives. And if you look at that period, Sun also, Sun is, I think, in the sixth house, actually, during this special counsel period and during this period where the judge is questioning his motives. So, again, shows controversy, conflict during those periods. What could we do to strengthen the chart? Well, we could, most of his planets are very, very strong. Mercury is strong. Let's see. All of his planets are strong. He just needs to strengthen Saturn. So you could do that by wearing a blue sapphire or a kavash containing the yantra for Saturn. And then he could transform his malefics, which are Mars, Venus, Rahu, and Ketu. So Mars, by helping men who are like brothers, and listening to chants in Hanuman chants on Tuesdays, listening to Lakshmi chants on Fridays, and helping women, and then Rahu and Ketu listening to Shiva chants on Saturday, and helping spiritual organizations and people who cannot help themselves.